What is going on, everyone? I'm here with my good friend Danny Villarreal. Did I say that right?
Yeah, perfectly.
You got to hit all those vowels, bro.
You sure
It's
did.
good it's good to be here, brother. Let's talk a little bit about your business, man. So tell us what's going on. You got a painting business. What is let's get right to it, man. What is the area in your business right now where you feel as though you're really wanting to elevate? That's the word we'll use today.
Well, thanks for having me,
Of
first of
course.
all. And also, what you're saying, I believe that right now, definitely building a business where you have honesty, where you do quality work, integrity, and those aspects are important. I think that one of the biggest things that I see a lot is Um, a lot of times customers are hiring me after they hire a low baller and they
Right.
really did a
They
bad
want you to
job and
fix it.
exactly fix it, or
So, so
they got a deposit and never came back.
yeah, yeah. So, do you feel like you're competing against those, and it's actually like a close competition? Like your customers are really like considering, and like you maybe even know some of these guys in your area, and they say, "Hey, I got an estimate from this company," and you're just like, and you don't want to be that person to be like, "Look, that guy's crazy." You just kind of just let it go, and you have integrity. And I find myself in the same position sometimes. Let me tell you a little bit about why this is happening. Okay.
Okay,
So, and it's important for you to understand the why, so then you can create the how you're going to avoid that. Okay. So,
gotcha,
first step, man, with your sales process, let's go through it. Okay. I'm going to invite
gotcha.
you to my house, knock on my door.
Knock, knock,
Go ahead. Knock, knock.
knock, knock.
Hey, how's it going? Hey, how's it going? So, what is your process? Walk me through it. So, I open the door. Tell me, walk me through this. I want you to estimate the interior of my house. You know this. You got me on Dripjobs. I got the automated follow up. Okay. Tell me
Yeah.
what that looks like, bro. You knock on my
Uh,
door. Tell me what's next.
yeah, I'm pretty much just introducing myself. Hey, this is Danny. And I'm from Villas Pro Paint.
Okay.
I'm excited. I'm excited to be here. Thank you for giving us the opportunity to come out and quote you on this job. And I just pretty much go on from there, asking, "Hey, what? Just tell me about the project. What is it that
Oh,
you're trying to get done?"
oh, Danny.
Yeah,
That's our problem, my friend. I found it right there, man. That's what my job is. I got to pinpoint it. I got to snipe it, and we got to get rid of it. All right. That's the problem
yes,
right there. I
gotcha.
found it. Okay.
Right,
Here's why, and I'm going to help you understand this going forward. Okay. Number one, we have to create some assumptions when we do business. Number one, you have to assume that people expect you to do a good job. Is that a fair assumption?
yeah,
Like they're
definitely.
inviting you over. They know by now if you're walking into their door, they expect you to be a professional. They expect a good job.
Yeah,
Okay.
definitely.
That's number one. Number two, we have to make the assumption that every single customer purchases differently than the customer before that, correct?
Hmm. Yeah,
And if we go into a house and all we're doing is focusing on the project, we're ignoring that second assumption. And what's that second
gotcha.
assumption? Everyone has different needs and desires. They all might need the same project. You give me 100 people, Danny, that want interior painting done, walls, ceiling, trims, doors. You give me 100 of them. Every single one of them will have different quirks about them and different ways that they want to be sold to and they want the project to go. Right?
Absolutely, absolutely.
Let's run through some examples, okay? Number
Yeah,
one, somebody might say, actually, Tanner, we're going to align this project to where we're going to be out of town, so you guys have the house to yourself, right?
yeah,
That's number
yeah,
one, right?
yeah.
Another person, Tanner, we've got to make sure that when this project gets done, it's done before the movers come, right? Okay.
Definitely.
Here's another one, brother. Tanner, I have my mother-in-law living with us. She's elderly. We've got to make sure that when we do this project, she's comfortable.
Yes.
That's three. I could go
Spot
on,
on.
dude. I mean, we
Spot
can
on.
sit here for the next. You don't want me to do that because I will,
No.
and I know them all. Okay. So,
Gotcha.
what your strategy needs to be going forward, my friend, it needs to be about the why, not the what.
Okay.
Okay. You're going in there right off the bat. Great presentation. Love it. You're a very friendly person. You come across very trustworthy off the bat. But here's what's happening. You're only focused on the project. You're talking about the walls. You're talking about what you're going to caulk and fill and do all this stuff. You're ignoring what's really important to them because they expect you to do that. You're leading the way here. You can't expect me to come into a restaurant and go cook my own food, brother. You can't expect me to go into a restaurant and go to the POS system and type in my order and let the cooks know I have a seafood allergy. That's not going to happen. That's your job. Okay. And if you don't do your job, it's hard for people to tell you how to do your job because you're the expert. You're supposed to be facilitating the process. You got to have authority in the household, man. Right then and there, that time period that you have been assigned to come and give them a quote is your opportunity to create a good experience.
Gotcha.
The problem that you're running into, if you feel as though that you're being compared to anyone else, is because you're being compared to them by way of price and by way of scope. That's the only thing that you have given them to make a valid comparison about.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. No, I definitely get it. Yeah.
And you know so what? If you came to my house, brother, I might think you're the greatest person in the world right off the bat. And guess what? Anyone that comes and gives me an estimate is going to put on their best hat. Probably. Right. You know, if they don't, I mean, I'm not stupid. If he's falling asleep on me, you know, during my estimate, I'm going to, you know, that's not going to work. But if he comes and he's presentable and he makes promises and he says he's going to do a good job and his price is $2,000 less than yours.
Yeah.
And the only thing you told me you were going to do was paint my wall, ceiling, trim, and doors. You talked about what product you're going to use. You talked about how long it's going to take. You talked about all the things. Is this all the stuff that you're doing right now?
Yeah, definitely. Yeah.
100%, right?
Spot on.
And he's going to do the same thing. He's going to tell me what he's going to paint, what he's going to use to paint it, and how long it's going to take. And then you both give me a piece of paper or you send me an estimate. And my eyes go all the way down to the bottom. And I say, okay, this guy wants 5,000. This guy wants 7,000. Honey, what do we do? Well, why does he want $2,000 more? Why would I pay $2,000 more for you, Danny?
Right.
It doesn't make sense. That's what the problem is here. So what your job should be, number one, you got to know your focus now needs to be the why, not the what. The what is expected of you. Obviously, you're going to come in and do a great job. What your focus is now is to find out what is most important to them. Okay? Not the what of the project, the why, I call it the internal motivation of why they want the job done. So let's hit on those because I want you to really be able to pinpoint them, and then I want you to be able to build value on them. Okay? So first thing, whenever you knock on a door or whenever you talk to someone about a job, first thing you need to be understanding is why they want the job done. Everyone has a reason. I just gave you 3, or I gave you some reasons behind why, and then we will talk about why. So for example, we have a couple reasons. Number one, we have to identify what type of customer they are, right? So there's a couple different customers. So one, we have customers that are living in their home that don't plan on moving. Okay. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So your first question, whenever you walk into someone's house, should be, what's the story? Right. Why did you invite us over today? Let them tell you the story. Oh, it's been 20 years. The kids finally moved out, and we're ready to have that fresh feeling that we have not had in 20 years. That's where you can come in and say, oh my goodness, that's so exciting. Hey, let me ask you, have you chosen colors yet? And they say, oh, no, that has been the biggest hurdle for us. We are having so much trouble. We have swatches all over the place. And then you, as a strategic business owner, knowing that people run into this roadblock, should say, listen, if you decide to go with us, one thing that we'd love to do is offer a free color consultation with a local decorator. We cover the cost. She'll come here and she'll get this all sorted out for you. Why? Because we know that somebody that hasn't moved and doesn't plan to move really cares about the atmosphere, the look. That is what they care about the most inside. Now, outside, they care about the look, but they also care about durability. Okay. They don't want to do this outside because outside is more of a maintenance project rather than a upgrade, right? So it's all about understanding this and understanding who you're selling to so you can provide value for that specific person. So if you're doing something on the outside and that same type of customer, although color is important, yes, and we're going to talk about that, what's more important is quality and durability, right? So if you're painting the outside of someone's house who's told you, yeah, it's been 20 years since we had it done, what you're going to be emphasizing throughout the duration of this project is one thing that's important to us is that you don't have to do this project for a long time. Let me tell you about our preparation process to make sure that you know what's going to happen underneath this paint job so you don't have to do this for another 20 years. And let me also tell you what type of product we invest in, right? Because what that's going to do is it's going to build trust in direct alignment with what their greatest concern or their greatest desire is. That is your focus. So when it comes down time to make that decision, now it's going to be, you know, this other contractor didn't instill a lot of confidence in me about how long this process, this project's going to last, honey. You know, right. And Danny came over and he said that it's going to have a 25-year warranty. He gave us a 7-year labor warranty on it. He said exactly how he's going to prep it. And he said that he's going to spend the whole first day scraping, priming, and prepping and replacing wood boards.
Mm-hmm. Right.
That's more valuable to me. I see why Danny's more expensive. Let's go with him.
Gotcha.
See what I'm saying?
Gotcha. Yeah. No, definitely. That's that's true. You wanna be able to do that to build that value, so they can see that it's not just the price, but it's what you said, quality and durability.
Well, it depends. Now let me ask you this. You might think that, but watch this. I'm gonna throw a curveball at you, right?
Gotcha.
I call you over for an estimate, and you haven't been through my sales training. You haven't got on a business breakthrough, and you don't listen to my podcast. And you go up to the customer and you say, "Hey, my name's Danny. I'm going to do a great job. You know, this is what we do. Show us what you want us to do." And you go through and you say, "Oh, we're going to put 2 coats there." And the customer's just following you around the house. And you're like, "Okay, yeah, we got to do some scraping here. And we use this super high quality paint. You shouldn't have to paint it for another 10 years. You're going to love Emerald Rain Refresh. We use the best product on the market. Let me get you a quote, man." And the customer's just like, "Okay, that sounds great. You know, all right, cool." And you give him a quote. And at the end, he says, "You know, Danny, I'm actually getting ready to sell this house and put it on the market."
Yeah. This is a waste of all.
Wasted all that energy. You sold him in the wrong direction. He doesn't give a crap, dude.
Right.
So it's important. So how would we sell to that guy? I would say, "Hey, man, what's the story?" And he would say, "Hey, actually, I'm getting ready to sell the house." And you'd say, "Oh, perfect, man. Hey, I know we need to get some pictures taken of this house looking brand new. One thing that you're going to absolutely love is that whenever we hear somebody has a house that needs to be sold, there's a time constraint. We do have some flexibility in our schedule. And actually, you know, before we even get into quote and scope and all that, I know that's so important to you of when we can get this done." He's gonna shake his head and say, "Yeah, that's pretty important," you know, and that's what's gonna kick the bucket for him. He's like, "Look, I honestly think I can get my team in here Monday. You know, we have an opening. And I think we can get that done Monday. If we can make this work, would that work for you?" He said, "Yeah, absolutely. Can you give me a quote?" And he's salivating, waiting for you to give him a quote. Okay.
Right. Absolutely.
So what I would do, you know, and I do this, if I know customers need to move in or move out, first of all, the price shoots up to the highest possible margin I can make on it without being disrespectful. I mean, I'm not taking advantage of people. I'm saying, "Hey, I want to hit that 55. I want to hit that 60% margin." Okay. And what I'm going to do is I'm looking at my schedule strategically and looking at customers that I know will be flexible. They're not in a rush. They don't care. They're super laid back, like whatever. Right. And I'm moving them out of the way and I'm putting in that customer where I need to put them, just because I know that what's most important to those individuals is time. It's not quality. It's not, you know, although again, we have assumptions that we made. Number one, you're expected to do a good job. Yeah. Okay. Right. So what we need to do is focus on what's most important to them. Okay. Does all that make sense?
Yeah, no, definitely. It definitely helps out. For me, you know, there's a lot of times I find myself where, you know, at some jobs, you know, some of my, you know, the employees are like, "Oh, so are we doing this?" You know, we're trying to go like deep into a project, and we're like, "No, we're not going through that." You know, a lot of that stuff, because they, you know, they just want paint. They just they just want to get it out the way. There's not homeowners that are staying to live there. So they don't want all that extra stuff. They just want some paint and get ready to roll.
Right. And that's why it's important for you to identify, number one, what type of customer you're dealing with. And here's the cool thing. When you start doing this, you don't need to ask what the why is. Right. You know it, because there's only a finite amount of why reasons, right? If I know that you're getting ready to move out, I know what your why is. You need me in order to get your house sold so you can make money, or you can move on to your next endeavor, right? I'm standing in your way. The worst thing I can do is take my time, right? Mm-hmm. And in the same breath, if somebody's living in their home to stay there, I understand that they want quality and they want an experience and they want an enhancement and they want that whole show, right? I understand that they want to hear about how great the team members are and how cordial they are and how we have a no smoking policy and how we have all these things. We're going to build value in that direction. Do you think the guy moving out cares about that?
No, definitely not.
Absolutely not, right? He doesn't care. So don't talk about it, right?
Right.
You understand? Right. So everyone buys differently. Everyone has their own things that they care about. And a great polished salesperson, which you are, you just need to polish yourself in this regard. You're going to recognize that stuff and you're going to put yourself light years ahead of the competition, light years, because you won't be comparable. That's the secret. You can't be compared. You have to, that you want people to justify paying more for you. Okay. Right. So here's the second part. Like, we talk about that, but it's also maybe that doesn't quite work all the time. If it were that easy, then, I'd be all over the news, man. I cracked the code. All I got to do is find out why people want something. Right. And, it's not that easy. Sometimes it doesn't work that way. Sometimes we need to push the needle. Okay. And let me ask you this, what revenue you guys bringing in weekly?
Weekly, I would say, maybe between about 5,000, I would say.
Okay, here's the thing. Let me give you some advice in terms of business leadership. If you take that long to tell me how much revenue you're doing per week, you need to sit down and you need to really look at your numbers, because you can't grow what you don't know.
Right.
Okay?
Right.
Those numbers are really, really important, brother, because and let me ask, do you have employees or do you have subcontractors?
No, employees.
How many employees do you have?
2.
You have 2 employees. Okay. And what is the hourly rate for those employees? Don't name names. Just what is the hourly?
You're talking about the highest one, 38, the lowest one, 21.
Okay. Are they on the books?
Pardon me?
Are they on the books? Like, do you have workers' comp for them, or do you still need to set all that stuff up?
Yeah, no, I have it set. I have workers' comp and my liability set up.
Okay, so does the 38 and stuff include the workers' comp, or is that for taxes and workers' comp?
No, and I'm just, as I've been listening to you on the podcast, I am learning, because I have absolutely not been. I just don't know, how to do that, and so I'm just not learning it.
Well, we're going to get it, and we're going to get you set up, and I encourage you, hit me up, bro. All right. I don't mind. If you have a question, email me, Tanner@dripjobs.com. Anything you need about business, I give me a minute to reply, but I'll get to you.
No problem. I'll definitely do that.
So we're at $60 an hour. Okay. And let's say that's an additional $10 an hour. Okay. To staff these guys. Are they getting 40 hours a week?
Yeah.
Okay. Does this include your dad?
Yes.
Okay. So,
yeah. So and that's and I'm not putting myself out there, but I'm pretty much paying myself. You want to know that? I'm paying myself as an employee.
Okay. Wait, are you included in one of these 2?
No.
Okay. So no, that's okay. I know I'm not worried about I just want to see, in the event it wasn't your dad or it wasn't another employee, we just got to look at hard numbers right now. So, So you're at $70 an hour. And let's say you were operating with workers' comp and taxes and all that stuff, and we're going to multiply that by 40. Okay. Do you know how much that is per week? That's $2,800 per week. Okay.
Okay.
That's about what you pay every week for 40 hours. Does that sound about right?
That sounds about right. Yep.
Okay. And all right. So did you start a new job on Monday?
I did.
Okay. And how long is that job going to last?
It's supposed to be about 5 day, 5 day job. But to be honest, we were set back just because
Okay.
uh, uh
So how much did you sell that job for?
that job was 63.50,
Okay. And that includes the paint, right?
and that includes the paint, yes, and I had some
Okay. How much additional what? You had additional
uh,
costs on that?
additional repairs. So I think it was like around $400 in additional repairs.
In terms of you added that to the price or you
Yeah, well, yeah, I'm supposed to add that to it. I'm just kind
okay,
of
so
giving you on top
yeah,
of my head. So
it's 68.50.
okay,
Yeah, 68.50. And then how much materials are you going to spend? How much paint?
paint. I would say about $900.
About 900. Okay,
Hmm.
and how much in materials to do the repairs?
About 250.
Okay. So right there after paint and materials, you're at 5,700 and you think this might take 6 days?
5 days.
Well, you said you're a little behind. So is you think you still get it
Oh,
done in 5 days?
yeah, I believe so. Yeah, because I mean the time that we already did to prepare it, we should be good just to go in there and spray everything, paint it, and we should
Okay.
still be able to do it in 5 days. Yeah.
Okay, good. Okay,
Mhm.
and what are you paying yourself?
I'm paying myself. I'm paying myself per day. It's 225, which is what, like 27 dollars, something like that.
Okay, so 220, 225. So you're paying yourself about 11.25 a week.
Yes.
Okay. And what are you doing with the profit that you make?
The profit, well, it just, I mean, I have separate accounts, of course. So,
Uh-huh.
uh, you know, all that just stays in my business bank
Is
account.
in the business account. Good.
Yes.
Okay. So right now, what I'm seeing is that you're taking up a spot that you could be hiring someone in for less than what you're taking that spot up to be. Right. So when I talk about optimizing a business, first of all, if you had a third guy on here, could you get the job done in 3 days?
Oh yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So what does that do? That opens up 2 more days for you, right?
Yes.
All right. So essentially, let's break this down. I want you to see this because all this is connected. Production is connected to sales, right? If I just opened up 2 days in a week from you and you get a call from somebody that tells you that they need the house done as soon as possible because they're getting ready to move out or move in, guess
Hmm.
what? You're able to take it now, aren't you?
Yeah, definitely.
And even if you have to leave dad behind to finish up touch ups and stuff, the two other guys can go start it, can't they?
Oh yeah,
And then
absolutely.
you can jump in if needed, right? So right
Yeah.
now, with you paying yourself, first of all, you got to recognize that you're paying yourself. Let's see, 11.25 divided by 40. You're paying yourself $28 an hour. Okay, you can find right now with who you're hiring. I'm sure you or who you have on your team. I'm sure you don't need somebody with A-level skill, right? You just need somebody to balance it out. Maybe just some cut skill and stuff, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
So let's say 21, and you find another $21 an hour guy. Okay, so right
Hmm.
now, right? So let's say, for example, this is what your business looked like. You had a 38, you had a 21, and a 21. Okay, that's going to put us at 71 before taxes. Let's add another $14 an hour for taxes. It's $85 an hour. Okay, that's with three guys.
Okay.
You just told me that you just sold a job for 68.50. Okay, let's see what the labor costs would be to get the job done in 3 days. Okay. So it's $85 an hour. Are you following me so far?
Yeah, I'm with you.
All right. $85 an hour times 24. Okay. Guess what? Guess what the labor cost is going to be on it? $2,040. That means by hiring someone else, you're actually operating at a lower labor cost than you are currently right now.
Hmm. Okay.
Isn't that crazy?
Yeah. Yeah,
Because right
absolutely.
now, for those two guys to do the job in 5 days, it's $2,800.
Okay.
Okay.
Right.
If you hire a third guy and you squeeze that job time down, now it's only $2,040 because you're only paying for, and if we look at total labor hours, we're paying at 72 labor hours that you're putting on the job as opposed to 80. Okay. As opposed to 80. So you're squeezing that job time down. Okay. So where I'm getting at is, let's look at what your profit would be. So at $6,850, we're going to subtract our $950 for paint. That's going to put us at $5,900. Then you said you had $250 in materials that you had to pay for the repair. So now you're at $5,650. Okay. Now we got to subtract that $2,040. Okay. You're making $3,600 on it. And before, when I asked you, when I did those numbers, you were only making $2,900. Okay. And now guess what? You have 2 extra days, Thursday and Friday, to fill.
Gotcha.
That's how you optimize a business.
Okay.
You got to find that optimal team. You know what I'm saying? Like, believe it or not, you're actually losing money by not hiring someone else, if that makes sense at all.
Oh,
it should, after I broke that down.
Oh, definitely.
You know?
Yeah. Yeah, definitely. I will start working that ASAP, because I definitely want to be able to optimize that and it, also free me up to keep working in the business and concentrate on my estimates and whatnot. I believe so, right? Because sometimes I'm actually working, dude. Like, I'm actually at the job site.
Oh, I believe it. So that should be a red flag to you that says, I need to hire.
Yeah.
You shouldn't be working.
Yeah.
It's just a matter of actually doing it, bro. There's people right now that want jobs. It's the confidence that you need to have to keep them busy. You just signed up for marketing. You just signed up for Dripjobs. You're building the foundation. We got to get you on Gusto so you have a payroll system and workers' comp and employer taxes are getting paid. I'll send you a link after we're done. You're ready. The thing about it is, when it comes to business, it's decision making. Like, you're the ultimate decision maker. And when I asked you what was the amount you're doing per week, by you saying, first of all, you were $1,800 off. You told me $5,000 a week, and you just sold a 1 week job for $6,800. Right. You see? But I know you're maybe doing an average. That's okay. Like over the course of 4 weeks. But that number should be really important to you, because that number is going to free you. You need to understand, like, hey, am I operating profitably? If I'm too profitable, but I'm not, efficient, that means I need to hire. Okay. Because guess what? You can paint a house by yourself and make a lot of money. But is that efficient?
No, not at all.
Right? Not at all. So you got to be a student of your own game, man. You got to look at the numbers just like I did. It's fun, dude. I think it's fun. Write down how much people are getting paid. Look at scenarios. Tell whoever's running the project, hey, we got 3 days on this one. If it's your dad and you feel like, that's going to push them, say, look, hey, if we do it, I can give you a little bonus. Start doing a little bonus structure. Just say, hey, you hit your goal on this one. Let's knock out the next one. Motivate them to get that 3 day done. Boom, we got a 2 day coming up. And now you're maximizing your resources. Okay. And you're creating a team atmosphere. That's really important. Right now, it's a partnership on the job, dude. It's your dad and one other guy, and it's like, okay, but a 3 is a party, man. A 3 is like, okay, man, you handle this, you get the prep. Hey, you clean up. I'm going to cut. You're going to roll. You're going to do this. Bah, bah, bah. And it's like a smooth flow, just how it is when you're on the job with them. You can supplement them, but you can't be a leg on the table, bro. Know?
Definitely. No, you're spot on, man.
When you have production that is operating like that, your sale becomes so much easier, man. You can't sell a crappy product. I spent 1.5 years developing this thing here, Dripjobs. Wow. I could have sold it month 6. I could have sold it month 9. I could have sold it month 12. I could have sold it. I wasn't going to sell it until it was so good that I could confidently say, you need this product.
Right.
Don't you feel as though when you get to that point in your painting business, you're going to be able to confidently convey to people, hey, we're the best option. If you want your job done on time, you want it done perfectly, that we're the choice for you, and we find that our customers, although we're a little bit higher, it's because you're getting more bang for your buck. We have 3 painters that we send to the job. Job's going to be done in 2 days. You'll have your house back in order. That's worth value to people that are living in their home, isn't it?
Right. Yeah. No, absolutely.
So if you're living in your home, I'm emphasizing, hey, it's going to take us 3 days. We're going to move all the furniture. I got a team of 3 coming. We're going to take down all your window fixtures. You're not going to do anything. You just sit back and relax. We'll take care of it. Don't worry.
Yeah.
Do they want to go with me, or they want to go with the guy who said, yeah, it's just me and my cousin. You guys need to move the furniture. You got to take down the window treatments. And, I'm thinking it's going to take 4 or 5 days, depending on, his work schedule, because he works part-time. So I'm not sure if he's going to be able to make it Thursday.
Yeah, no, that ain't going to work.
We're not doing that. So was that helpful, man? I don't want to overload you. I'd love to have you back on.
Yeah.
What do you think, man? Was that good?
No. I mean, everything that you, the insight that you're, giving me helps. I've been, and like I said, I've been listening to the podcast. This is definitely helping me out. I'm already, trying to go through that sales process where I'm adding my margins on there, and I'm not just saying, okay, well, it's 3 of us on the job, labor and materials, just how much it cost me. I'm just going to add 1,000 or 1,500 of profit on there. You know what I mean? These are just kind of the ways that I've been doing it. And now that I hear you, I'm like, dude, what I've been doing all this time. And believe it or not, I mean, just been, I'll be honest with you, just been, in a sense, fearful about what? Well, one thing, the competition, and this is something that, I need to fix myself, and like, hey, don't concentrate on them, concentrate on what you do and what you have.
Who should be fearful? Walmart should be fearful of Amazon. Okay. That's who should be fearful when it comes to business competition. Don't worry about competition, man. A franchise could come into your area right now and dominate. There's always going to be customers for what you serve, just because the market is so big. Don't worry about it. There's a certain thing as the right customer and the wrong customer. Some people only care about price, and we're never going to avoid that. Really, the purpose of marketing is getting you as many opportunities as possible. That is what marketing is. Don't think of it as anything other than that, and you're not going to be stressed out. You need to get in front of as many people. It's like treasure hunting. Get in front of as many people as possible, and you're going to align with your customers. Right. I'm just teaching you how to sell to them, okay, when you find them, right? Because there's certain people that no matter what you say, you can say that the team is going to cook them breakfast every morning, and they're going to, fold their clothes while they're here. I mean, it doesn't matter. They will only buy off of price. They don't value painting enough. They haven't been through the pain of a bad experience. It's kind of like somebody who is getting their first tattoo, and they know a guy they call Backyard Chuck, $40 for a tat. And you're thinking, nice, I could go get a tattoo, $40 from this guy. When that guy messes up your arm, the next time you're ready to get a tattoo, you're not going to go with Backyard Chuck. All right. Definitely. What are you going to do? You're going to go to a professional. You're going to see the difference. So some people still need to go through that to recognize it. Not everyone, but some. So another question that I suggested that you ask in that dialogue is, hey, have you ever hired a professional painting contractor before? Find out, see who you're being compared against. Some people say, no, we always used to do it ourselves. Those are the toughest ones to sell, because they see anything that you price them as money they could be saving if they do it themselves. So for you, it's important, if you get someone like that, to emphasize what a professional process looks like. I say one thing that we do, I love, sometimes I feel like you're my competition. I'll tell them that. I'll say, but one thing that we do, first of all, you're going to love the fact that, you can just relax and it's going to be done for you. You've done this before, it's not easy. Number 2, you have stucco out there. So chances are you're going to want us to bring an industrial sprayer to come and make sure we get inside all those crevices. Trying to roll that is just not going to work. And at the end of the day, like, I'm trying to educate them at the end of the day on why it's not a good idea for them to do it. And I'm trying to showcase like why I'm the valuable choice here. Sometimes it's weird, but sometimes we're competing against other companies and we're competing against the customers, right? I mean, so you got to learn this and then just practice it. You just need reps, brother. And I think taking some of this and maybe listen to this one again once it's posted, you might get some results. Please share the results with me. I'd love to know if it helped out. You got an estimate today?
No doubt. No, not today. No.
All right, cool. Your next estimate, man. You ready?
Yeah, no, definitely. I look forward to it, and believe it or not, I think it was last week, and because I've been, like I said, been killing those podcasts, and last week that was actually one of the first questions I did ask. was the, hey, the why, what's the story?
Yeah. And how did that go?
Why?
Remember what the response
Yeah.
was?
Yeah. Well, they were like, hey, it's been a long time. And then also my wife wants to get all this painted. She's more excited than I am. About getting
So
this
what do we
done.
do? We set up a decorator to sit with the wife, and you've won the husband over because he doesn't want to deal with it.
Right. Yeah. So no. So like I said, I'm little by little just implementing these small things that I am definitely learning. So you've been much help. So I definitely appreciate that.
Let's connect again, man. Give me an update in a couple weeks.
I sure will. I
Thanks, Danny.
appreciate you
Have a
having
good
me.
day, brother. Drive
You
safe.
as well.
All right,
Thanks.
man.